Okay, good night. This is the session the session number one, the virtual session number one, the synchronous session in this week number one for module 6. We're going to discuss some topics and phrases that you are going to use or you're probably going to use when meet someone. It is important to establish these phrases as a general base ones because when we uh, try to establish the behavior, let me tell you that we are from a different way of behave. For instance, we are warm, we are a really happy people when we speak with someone. But foreign people like European or American citizen, native ones, of course, they tend to be more cold, more serious, and maybe when we are going to meet them for the first time, they're gonna feel like, oh, okay, please, um, let's try to uh, stand like this. And so, um, in order to establish these phrases, I'm going to uh, present to you this this PowerPoint presentation in order for you to understand what I'm talking. For example, when introducing people to someone else, there are basic sentences that you have to understand, or do you have to use it in order to show that you have respect to others, okay, and you respect the space, and you can use them freely, okay. Basic sentences when you want when you want to meet someone, you need the name of the person. Of course, you have to talk in a very clear and specific way with the name of the person, the place of origin, if they are Europeans, if they are American natives, or they are Mexican American. For example, because it's not the same. The American native speakers, they behave like the way I mentioned before, and um, when we meet someone that maybe has some Mexican roots or they have a family in Mexico, they tend to behave like us, like smiling and happy. That's why it is important to know this this topic, the age of the person. As a normal ones, for example, the American citizens are not using a normal talking when you are a teenager or when you are a grown up or an adult person. The level of respect or the level of trust is not the same. For example, if you try to talk to a teenager and you are an adult, it's going to be some kind of um, uncomfortable situation. Maybe because the teenagers are not uh, are not related to talk to a adult person. It is important to know also the relationship you have with them. It is a friend. It is a friend of yours. It is a friend of another friend. You have to understand the difference among those relationships. Okay, you need to know the likes or dislikes for this person because if you tend or you extend or you widen the conversation, you are going to cope up with this another list of topics. Okay, dislikes and dislikes. And the last topic you have to know is the hobbies in the same line of conversation. You want to extend the conversation, you want to widen the conversation. Those are the things that you need to know. Okay. Um, in order to use them from a um, point to point, I'm going to give you these basic questions of basic phrases that you can use, okay? Option for asking names. What is your name? Who are you? How are you called? The first one is the most useful and the most um, formal one. Okay, what is your name? Who are you is the type of question are kind of informal and very rude. Please use it when you have more than a piece of a trust with someone you really know in English. And how are you called? It is another way to ask for the name of someone. In terms of trust, in terms of respect, please use the formal ones when you don't know any from another person, and you start to establish some kind of trust or level of confidence and respect. You can use the second ones and the third ones. Question to ask for place of living. These two questions are basic, are really open questions, and they are kind of formal. Where do you live, and where are you from? Where do you live? In most of in more of the options when we speak to someone refers it from a general point of view. Okay, you are not asking for the street, the number of the house, the PO box, and other uh, information, just to establish the place you live from a general point of view. And where are you from? From a really, really open and general point of view. Where are you from? You are from the United States. Are you from Europe? Europe? Are you from Britain, England? Any place where English language is spoken. Question to ask for likes and dislikes. As I said before, when you start to speak to someone and the conversation really flows in a really good way, and you want to extend the conversation, you can ask this kind of question. What do you like? What do you dislike? It is okay if it's good for you if the two the two last options, the third and the fourth one, are this in the same informal use that you can use if the trust and confidence just rises up. What do you like is a more direct question, and what do you dislike has to do with both of the situation, the likes and dislikes that I mentioned it before. Greetings and farewells. It is important to establish these phrases when we start to talk to someone, okay? It is important to greet when you get to know someone, when you arrive a place, when you reach a group of people, to use some kind of greeting. Hi, hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, goodbye, and bye. Maybe you are kind of curious why I'm not using good night. I'm not using good night because good night has to do with the hour or the situation when you are going to sleep direct to your bed. Maybe if you are living, if you are having a night or you are staying with a friend and you are going to sleep at that moment, you can use good night. But if you are at night at the street when you are in a party, you know that is 12 hour 12 p.m. or 1 hour at 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the morning, you cannot say good night because it is supposed that you are still having time. Okay, so if you have this situation, I mean, I have to go to bed, I'm going to sleep, okay, good night. That's when you can use it. Okay. Oh, okay, and these phrases, remember, has to do with the first time that you are talking to people. Okay. I have this. I prepared this activity for practice. Let me show you. It is a really good one. I'm going to show you this one. Okay, this is, here you go. It's a quiz in order to establish if you are able to understand, if you are kind of, how to say it, you have a prepared activity to understand the way you have to talk to somebody else in English. Okay, let's get started. I'm going to add this material in the in the forum, in announcements, or maybe I'm going to send this link in the message platform in order for you to practice. Let me show you how it works. Like, you start and you say, esta es la primera pregunta cuando conoces a alguien. What is the questions you use when you meet someone? Good night, how are you? Or my name is. Remember, first questions. It is to say that the phrase you're looking for has a question mark, and the correct one is the second one. Show you. Okay, this is a pretty practical and useful material for you to start to establish these phrases or start to work with. Okay, I'm going to add this. I'm going to put this activity in a message platform in order for you to work. Okay, there are kind of 5 or 6 questions, and that's it. And keep in mind this one. When we work in the week 1, there are something that I always try to mention to you. Remember, all the activities has this material in the end. Okay, the rubric 1. In the rubric 1, there are patterns of use in which you have to consider the options to fulfill the activity. There are a area for cognitive um, uh, breaches, about behavior, about communication, and critical thinking. It is important for me to tell you that when we fulfill the activity, you have to understand all of these things, okay? All of these things. The first place, the name of the activity, the purpose of the activity, what do you need to use, or what do you need to perform a good activity, what are you going to hand in the end of the week. You have 6 days to perform it and finish it and finally hand it. How are you going to perform this activity? All these things, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and finally number 7, there are the steps you have to take into account when working with this activity and all the integrative activities you have to deliver. Remember, I am free to respond your questions. I'm open to help you, and I'm really fond of provide you some sources. And please send me a message in the message platform also, or in the there is this forum, the social forum, asking for whenever you want to know in order to perform maybe a good activity or to perform a better activity. What I try to say is that when you are working with English, maybe you are going to feel like you are doing not good. But let me tell you, English is a practical and useful language that when you start to practice and you start to make this, let me tell you, this um, I'm looking for the word for you. When you allow it to enter to your life in social things, or your friends, or your job, English start to act and the magic starts to show. Okay, any question, please let me know. Send me a message, and please let me help you. I'm your virtual assessor, Juan Ramon Lopez Blanco. See you next time.